Looks like one of our development parts didn't fare too well in testing. I've put it on hold for now. You can restart work from the laptop. We're going to have to go back now and make some adjustments in order to get the final numbers looking more like we were expecting from the simulation.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Crackerjack coming back at you with another episode of my Formula 1 2017. Now we start off this episode with a bit of a downer actually. Our chassis rate reduction that we tried to get completed has come back and failed. However, our front downforce, front wing plate, main wing plate of our car has been improved, and so has our gearbox durability, which is always a plus. But you know, it's a bit unfortunate for us to get our weight reduction not going through. However, we are going to go straight in and have a look at our R&D tree. You can see now that we can further improve the durability of our gearbox, and we can now start experimenting with the front end main wing plate. However, we are just going to go right away and try and recontinue this weight reduction. We're going to put in some more resource points to try and get the chassis to be lighter. But without further ado guys, we're going to go now and back to our laptop, and we're going to go and see what Emma has for our qualifying objectives here down at the Russian Grand Prix.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So there you have it guys, our qualifying goals are to finish in 13th place or higher, and of course as always we have to try and beat our teammate and our rival Romain Grosjean. So without further ado guys, we're going to get straight into this short qualifying session.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily, it's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way however, track position or unexpected yellow flags for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
Alright guys, so we're here at the Russian Grand Prix now on our outlap from the pit. This track is fairly new to me. I didn't actually get a chance to play it in last year's game. I believe that last year's game was the first time that it was actually in any of the F1 games, but this track is fairly new as well in the actual F1 calendar. As we're coming up now to the penultimate corner, hopefully we can put in a decent time. I have upped the difficulty ever so slightly because, you know, I feel like through the qualifying sessions and practice sessions we've been getting away with it far too easily. As we do cross the checkered flag to start our qualifying lap, we come now down through turn number 1, activate the DRS now, leading up into the hard braking zone of turn number 2, braking hard, trying to clip the apex as we do, come through there without a scrape, and now we're coming up to the long left-hander of turn number 3, trying to stick to the racing line as much as we can, braking now down into turn number 4, swinging the car over to the right hand side, run a bit wide onto the curb, and now leading up to turn number 5, braking hard, clipping the apex and hard on the power as we exit, coming up to a slight right hander of turn number 6 before turn number 7, now over to the right hand side again, now leading up to turns number 8 and turn number 9 before we do get to the braking zone into turn number 10, swinging the car again over to the right hand side. We see Valtteri Bottas set the fastest lap as we open up our DRS on this makeshift back straight. I'd like to say we come through turn number 11 now, over to the left hand side for turn number 12, braking hard through into turn number 13, almost losing the car a bit there, through turn number 14, now leading up hard onto the power, down into turn number 15, over to the left, we've cut the corner ever so slightly, turn number 16, coming up through into turn number 17 as well, as we are now about to set hopefully what is a fast lap for us. Turn number 18, we cross the line and we are currently in 4th place. Okay, so now we rejoin halfway through our second qualifying lap. You can see in the top right hand corner that we are of course setting green delta time, so we are up on our best pace so far through this Russian Grand Prix circuit as we come up now to turn number 17, hard braking into the right hander before we go around the final corner here at the Russian Grand Prix, turn number 18, clipping the apex, and we do cross the line and we're up into 6th place for qualifying, so let's see where this puts us.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are Bottas, Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So as you can see guys, we didn't manage to beat Romain Grosjean and we are going to be starting in 12th place. We are now going to be listening to the voicemail from Emma to see what our race objectives are.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
So our race objectives are to finish 13th or higher and of course beat Romain Grosjean. It's going to be a bit difficult for us, but hopefully we can do it guys. We're going to get into our laptop now and we're going to go straight into the Russian Grand Prix.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Räikkönen, Hamilton, Lance Stroll and Ricciardo, Massa, Verstappen, Perez and Romain Grosjean, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Carlos Sainz and Kvyat, Palmer, Alonso, a Haas and Stoffel van Dorn, Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, be wary of the cars ahead braking suddenly into one. We could ruin our race if we hit them. Good luck.
So there you have it guys, we are unfortunately starting off in 17th place. I think we changed our gearbox on a couple of parts on our engine, so we do get a penalty for that, which it's kind of awful for us. We're going to be starting back in 17th, but you know, I like a challenge, and we're going to go on a one stop, a slightly longer strategy this time, but let's get straight into the race. Alright guys, now we are in 17th place here at the Russian Grand Prix as we hit 5 red lights, and away we go. We get off to a fairly decent start. We pull over to the right hand side, coming up alongside Fernando Alonso in the McLaren. We try and do a quick move around the outside of him, however we lose control slightly, come back and make slight contact with Fernando Alonso, braking now down into turn number 2, almost taking out the Renault of Jolyon Palmer ahead of us. However we dive down the inside of turn number 3, all of the cars moving completely out of our way, almost make contact with Felipe Massa in the Williams. However we do manage to come away unscathed as we come around turn number 4, now behind Max Verstappen, up into P9, braking hard down through turn number 5, cutting the corner ever so slightly. We can still see that Max Verstappen is coming back, trying to attack us as we do take a position from him. We're braking now late through turn number 7. However, we do manage to make the move stick as we come up through turn number 8, braking down on these left-hand turns into turn number 9 now, coming up, braking hard onto the right-hander of turn number 10 before this makeshift back straight here in Russia, coming up through turn number 11 onto the right-hand side before the left-hand turn of turn number 12 now into the braking zone, turning right through turn number 13 onto turn number 14. We can still see Max Verstappen very much angry with us, trying to get the position that we stole from him as we come through now through turn number 15 and number 16, leading up now to completing our first lap here in Russia in this Russian Grand Prix. Turning around the penultimate corner, turn number 17, we see Lewis Hamilton goes through on the fastest lap, 1:43.3, and we go past the start finish line here at the end of our first lap and we are up into 8th place. We fast forward it now to the start of lap number 3 here at the Russian Grand Prix. We're going well so far, still up in 8th place. We can see Max Verstappen, as indicated by the arrows, very much in close proximity behind us. We're braking now late into turn number 2, making a diving maneuver. We see Kimi Räikkönen go a bit wide ahead of us. We get forced off of the track, brake, try and give back position to Nico Hülkenberg, and what do we see? We see Max Verstappen now capitalising on our mistake around turn number 3. We try and under-brake him going around turn number 4. Unfortunately, Max Verstappen just has too much power to get past us, and as we can see as well on our right hand side, the Force India of Sergio Perez has also got too much power for us to contest with as we come through about halfway through this third lap, we do hit Sergio Perez ever so slightly, but we have fallen down into 10th place. Fast forwarding now to lap number 8. Now nothing much has happened since we got overtaken by Sergio Perez and of course Max Verstappen, apart from the fact that a few of the cars ahead of us have come into the pits, and as you can see on the top left hand corner, guys, we are leading the race. We are, granted we haven't came into the pits yet, but we are leading and have been leading for about a lap now. Our first lap in this career mode where we've been at the front of the grid. It's not going to last long because, like I say, we are going to be coming into the pit very, very shortly to change onto the ultra soft tyres. But like I say, guys, it's a momentous occasion for us and the team, and as you can see now, we are going to be pulling over to the right hand side as we come into turn number 17. We're going to be entering the pits. Hopefully we can come out in a decent position. Like I say, this time we're probably not going to be coming out in dead last, hopefully, but we'll just have to see. Coming out at around 10th place would be good for us. Ideally we'd be up inside that top 10 bracket. We can see that someone else is coming in behind us. I believe that is the Toro Rosso of Daniel Kvyat coming in behind us, but we do get an excellent pit stop, 2.7 seconds from our pit crew, and we will exit the pit lane very, very shortly and rejoin the grid. Hopefully we can get into a decent position. We see Nico Hulkenberg in the Renault just go ahead of us into 7th, and we do exit, and we are going to be able to maintain 8th place as we see a car coming up our outside. Lance Stroll in the Williams trying to come up our outside, but we do take the first corner with ease. So we're going to rejoin it now on lap number 10. Coming up to the end of lap number 10, we have managed to gain a few seconds on Nico Hulkenberg on the last couple of laps, coming around through turn number 17 into turn number 18. We are of course within the DRS detection zone for Nico Hulkenberg, so when we do come around turn number 1 here at Russia, we are going to be able to open up our rear wing, and as I say that, we're going to come through now, open up and activate DRS. Coming down into turn number 2, we can see that we're gaining ever so slightly on Nico Hulkenberg, late braking, trying to make a diving move around his inside, and we do just manage to make it stick. We might have just clipped him a bit, but I don't think we did too much damage to him, and we are able to make it stick, and we are up into 6th place as we come up to the end of turn 3. So we are going to fast forward it now to the 13th and final lap of this Russian Grand Prix as we come around turn number 3 now, braking into turn number 4, over to the right hand side, running it just a tad wide, now leading up into the build up end of sector 1 into turn number 5, hard on the brake as we swing the car over to the right hand side, running up now to a slight right hand of turn number 6 into turn number 7, braking hard, trying to clip the apex like we do ever so smoothly. Now coming up to the series of left hand turns into turn number 8, cutting the corner ever so slightly, turn number 9, taking it with ease before braking now down hard into the right hander of turn number 10, now leading up to this makeshift back straight here in Sochi as we take turns number 11, swinging the car over to the right hand side of the track before having to hit the heavy braking zone down into turn number 13, over to turn number 14. We see Sebastian Vettel taking the checkered flag, winning here in Russia. It does look as if we are going to be finishing in 6th place here at the Russian Grand Prix. We come now through the right hander of turn number 16, and guys, it's been a fantastic racing weekend for us as we take turn number 17 before the pit straight of turn number 18, and we are going to be finishing in P6.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver standings. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Today, I think I'll give it to the Haas driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.